G'day guys, welcome to Scotch Down Under. I'm Ken.
I'm the cue ball.
Yeah, I think I'm Carly.
Oh, I hope so.
As long as you think you are, that's the important thing.
So today we're going to go to a place in the Highlands, just north of Perth.
Oh, right.
Different Perth than our Perth, but yeah.
Oh, not our Perth.
No. There's a Perth in Scotland. It's our sister Perth.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the Edradour Caledonia 12-year-old. This is non-chill filtered, natural coloured, all those ticking the boxes, 46%, you know.
Oh,
All
what
that-
I found interesting, it says US only.
US only 750ml.
That's what I found interesting. It kept catching my eye.
Yep, and if we're going to talk about the packaging, we will in a second, but yeah, they do a bunch of other stuff, and then they got their peated version. But the big common ones are this one and the 10 Belgian. So yes, just north of Perth, next to Aberfeldy. Aberfeldy.
Okay.
So they're just in like the Central Highlands, a little bit lower, towards the lowlands, just north of Perth. Now Edradour, as it says on the tin, been around since 1825. Somewhere in here it says it. Oh, there it is, established 1825.
You found it. Okay.
Pretty much it was a hot potato. It was like, oh, no, you can have it. No, you can have it. No, you can have it. You can have it.
Potato.
So it's had many different owners.
It had a few different owners. Pretty much until one of the latest owners was 1982, was Pernod Ricard. They decided to have a grab of it.
Ah.
Yep, and when they grabbed it, they opened a visitor centre as well. So that was cool. And then they pretty much shoved it off to someone else, and then I think there was someone else, and then Signatory. You know Signatory?
Yeah.
Yeah, independent bottler.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went along, oh, we'll have that. So Signatory has owned them since 2002. And they've done, in the last few years, they've done a massive amount of revamping and replacing a lot of the equipment in the old Edradour Distillery, because they actually opened another one right next to it on the same site, just across the burn. They made Edradour No. 2.
Right.
Which was like a copycat of Edradour No. 1. Now, Edradour No. 1 was originally doing the peated version, which is the Belgian, which is the 10-year-old, which will be an episode coming up soon. That's a lovely, lovely peated Highland.
Right.
So
Okay.
now, Edradour No. 2 is pretty much doing the Caledonias and their other expressions, and Edradour No. 1 is doing their peated stuff. Now, because this is a very small production, these guys are only around 260,000 litres a year.
Ooh.
With the expansion of Edradour No. 1 and No. 2, they're going to be hopefully pushing that out to 500,000, so 500,000 litres. So there's been such a big want for this whiskey, they've actually cut back the peat and they're only doing it in No. 1. So there you go.
Interesting.
So number one does standard whiskies, number two does peated
Other way around.
stuff. Other way around.
Other way around.
Okay.
No. 1's been pushed down to just the peaty stuff.
Yep.
But they've revamped all of No. 1 as well, so it's pretty much brand new stuff, but they're still using a lot of the tradition. So yeah, they're a small distillery, but they're making some really good stuff. And they're flying under the
Well, that
radar.
remains to be seen.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, from my impression and what other people are saying on the interwebs.
Right.
Interwebs.
And the other whiskey tubers. So, packaging.
It's blue.
It's blue.
It's
and
a
it's
C.
got a big flag of Scotland on there.
And big letters. 12 years, natural coloured, unchill filtered.
Can't say nothing.
Thanks for coming.
Look at that. Natural colour. Unchill filtered. Aged 12 years. With a big map of Scotland. And
Flag.
a really nice blue. Oh, flag, sorry, yes. And then a nice picture of the distillery. And then on the back, you got this nice little... So, Dougie Maclean, a musician, he's doing a nice little spiel here. And yep.
So it could be that he's a big fan of Edradour and they asked him if he'd like to endorse one of their products or something like that.
Yeah.
The chorus from Caledonia, music and lyric by Dougie Maclean, and was published with permission from the publisher.
But yes, I like the blue. This really looks nice on the shelf. And they've got the little symbol of
Little
Scotland
flags there.
floating around. And it's...
And the like all the
The
sort of
Caledonia edition.
Celtic
Yeah.
font.
Yep. And it carries on through on the bottle. Nice little squat little bottle.
It's got a little bottle.
And on the foil cap, it's stamped in there with the Edradour and all that good stuff. And then
Which is on the cork as well.
on the cork on there as well. And then you've got Edradour wrapping around the neck.
And moulded into the glass.
Bold Edradour. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's very nice. I do like it. Very simple.
Looks good.
Very classy. Stands out. Yep.
The Scottish flag is a really nice touch.
I like that. Yeah. That really pops.
Oh yeah, definitely smell the sherry in that.
Yep. Dirty,
Very.
funky sherry.
And it's got that real sherry, dry sherry looking colour to it as well.
Yep. Sure does.
Deep and rich.
Yes.
And there's some Edradours that they're like engine oil. It's so dark. Some of the exclusive one-off bottlings, they literally look like you just drained your sump oil into a glass. It looks amazing. Yeah.
Ew.
They look so good.
No, thank you. You can keep your sump oil. It's got a funk to it too.
Yep. It's a real earthy, funky sherry. Nice. It's like you've just poured sherry over the ground and you just licked it.
The sherry is not that big on the nose for me, but it's more like a nutty fruitcake smell rather than a full-blown sherry.
Oh, right, okay.
So there's sweetness and there's
To me it's a dark.
there's some citrus zest, but there's still dark fruits, rich fruits.
real dark
Dried fruit.
Yeah.
But it doesn't smell like sweet sherry's being poured over it. It's like your dark, dry sherry.
Dry sherry.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a bit of mustiness there as well.
Yep, a bit of mustic.
Some earthy notes.
Yeah, that's why I think it's
I
just
like it.
dry sherry poured
I
over
like
the
the
ground.
nose.
Yeah, it does smell good. Shall we?
Ching-ching.
Yep. Oh, nice note too.
Yeah. Don't damage me, women of whiskey glass.
It's a really nice amalgamation of fruit. And just a little bit of citrus rind zest.
Oh. I get the not honey, the creamed honey. I get creamed honey taste in my mouth on a nice piece of toast that's just come out. This nice creamed honey.
So that, for me, that citrus note doesn't really carry through onto the palate, but there's more of the dried fruits.
I'm getting a lot of the real, as you say, dried dark fruits. Even a little bit of fig with the funk. Yep, not completely dry, like still a little bit fresh in the middle. And then there's it's like a little bit of walnut husk. Just the husk of the walnut.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just...
There's a little nuttiness.
I'm getting plum.
Like dried plum or real deep,
Yummy.
dark, overripe plum. Yeah, I can get that.
Like the plums you use for
The flesh or the skin?
no, the plums you use for stewing.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the real strong ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's an interesting one. It's very interesting.
Yeah, nice little bit of plum coming through then. Yeah, you were saying that on the end of the finish. Yeah. Real plummy. A juicy plum too. More fig.
Yeah.
And fresher figs now.
Figs with honey.
Oh, yeah. Dunny.
Dunny.
Honey. Honey dip figs.
Figs in shit.
Mouth not work.
Figs spread on a nice piece of toast with caramel.
Fig jam.
Fig jam.
Oh,
Fig
yeah.
jam. Yeah, it's fig jam.
Yep.
Yep.
No, that's fig jam on toast.
Yep.
Yep.
Slightly dry finish, or is that just me?
There is a bit of a dry finish, yes.
Yeah, but not an unpleasant dryness. It's just a soft dryness.
So like your
Like
dry sherry
You
dry.
salivate, but then
There's still that sweetness.
there's a soft dryness on the roof of the mouth. Which I like it. I like it because there's still that underlying fruit there.
Yep. Yeah, like it doesn't dry your mouth out. There's still that watering aspect from that, like that fig coming through. So it's not a stringency that, just tannin sucking the moisture out of your face.
Yep. It's changed up a little, but
Yeah, the
in a
woody
good way.
walnut note still there.
Yep. And the fruit's still there. There's still that.
I'll just let mine sit, and it's got a. This is going to sound really, really weird, but it's got a Vegemite funk smell to it. That's my.
Yeah, I can get that. I mean, Vegemite is malt
Yeasty.
extract.
Yeah.
A yeast extract,
Yeah.
sorry. A yeast extract. So, yeah, that makes sense.
And there's almost it's a combination of that and that nuttiness and that dryness that it's almost like a tartness to the fruit. Like it's not quite right.
Like a tart mulberry.
But again, not unpleasantly.
No.
No.
Interesting.
It's still pleasant.
Interesting.
Now that you've smelt it and tasted it and want to know how much would you pay?
$95.
I want to say it's over 100. I'm going to go around 110, 120.
125.
Oh.
So you're almost
I'm happy with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's good. There's some depth, there's some complexity, and there's like that, like you said, dirty sherry as opposed to a sweet sherry.
Yep. Yep.
Makes it stand out a little more.
Yeah. It's got that
And obviously the
dark, earthy notes coming through with that sherry and the tannins. And
the vibrancy of the colours would stand out on the shelf.
Oh, the packaging is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the balancing is the same, and it's nice and vibrant and stands out. This is one that's just people that know, but the general people don't know about this one. Your general whiskey drinker just doesn't really know about this one. This one hides under the radar,
I think it
and I
would
want to
be...
kind of keep it that way. Because I don't want this to turn into a Springbank where it just disappears off the shelf.
Yeah, I mean, like,
this
look,
is a good one.
you imparted the knowledge that it is actually a sherry finish,
Yes.
but it doesn't mention that anywhere on the packaging.
Nope.
No.
So I think that would actually be something of a pleasant surprise if you didn't know.
Yeah. I already knew that before.
And
I
that
got into this.
that
but
gives
yeah.
a bit of a bonus.
Yep. And it's a different sherry than what you normally get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
being a drier, not as sweet and punchy.
But still quite juicy with those figs.
And there's some depth and complexity again.
Yep, and the water just changes it up a bit. Yeah.
Could you walk into your local bottle shop and buy this? Or
Depending where you live.
can you not get it in Australia?
No, I got this online in Australia. So I was able to find this on an online store.
Considering it has US only written on it.
Yeah, well, that's imported in, probably from the States, from here. So it's done a few hops to get to here. I don't know about the availability of... I mean, I know somebody in... Shout out to Frederick in Sweden.
Mm.
He's able to get this, and he's a fan of this. He really likes this one as well. And also our friend JD, he's a big fan of this one as well. So, yeah, all over the planet.
Right, so...
Rating.
8.5.
Yeah, 8.5. Actually, no. I'm going to go 8 3/4. I'm going to give that little bit extra for that. If you didn't know, that nice surprise of the dry sherry.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just thinking, oh, it's a 12-year-old single malt for around that price, good value. And oh, there's a bit of fruit there. That's lovely.
Yep.
So I'll give it an extra bit for that. So I'll go 8 3/4.
I'm going to go with my 9.
Annoying?
Yeah, I'm a fan of this. Everything about this I enjoy. Presentation, non-chilled natural colour, 46%. It's a small distillery, and that dirty, funky, awesome sherry just comes through, and it's really enjoyable. Every single time I have a sip, I'm like, yeah, this is good. I get something a little bit different. It's a nice little journey every time in the glass, and yeah, I'm a fan. It's a solid 9 for me, for sure.
I like it.
Yeah.
I do too.
So I'll be interested to see what you think of its sister bottling, the peated version.
Well, I look forward to that.
Yes, very much so.
Yep. Until next time.
Have a good one.